There's no time for this. I should head to the village. I know this place. The village is not far away to the right.
Vulcan, where were you? We were up to our necks in it. They're everywhere. We're holding this gate, but I think the others have been overrun.
Do you know where the captain is?
He headed for the center of the village. Sounded like it wasn't going well over there. You should go and help him.
prince is on the move again, and he's not wasting any time.
The puppet he confronts. It is not like the others.
It's more likely to be the puppet master. He looks like a Deadwalker general. He's probably leading the assault on Valdenor.
All of this power he animates with, it belongs to me. It was stolen and twisted by your miserable magicians. It is time to take back what is mine by right.
If you're planning to take care of him like all the others, sounds good to me. Prince Arundel won't last long facing that kind of monster.
He is using more power than thou wilt allow me to deploy.
I can take care of myself, and here's my plan. I'm gonna come at him with everything I've got. Killing their general is gonna screw up our enemies big time. Let's go do it.
I know not what thy father did to him. He seems to want to take revenge personally.
That was one tough death's head, but it won't command anyone now. Without their general, the dead walkers should leave us alone for a while. But they'll reorganize, so we can't stay here.
You're right, mercenary. Let's use the time to leave. It's now or never if we're going to get to Caralthas. My father and the armies of the Free Nations should be there. If we hurry, we may be able to participate in the mother of all battles and finally push back the Ice Lords.
If thou dost throw thyself into this battle, the only thing that thou wouldst find is thy death, and the only chance thou hast for saving this world will disappear with thee. Their armies will not win. He knows this, but that is not what motivates him. He is seeking his father's approval. He wants to buy the crown by delivering us to his king. He believes we are at his command. But he is mistaken. I only serve and live for the world heart. Thy elven city is closer. I can feel it. Forget these suicidal battles. If thou join with them, thy so-called friends will end up turning against thee out of fear or envy.
The captain trusts me. He listens to me and knows what decisions to make. He'll back me up.
The good little soldier would give his life for his captain. Dost thou truly believe it is reciprocal? Thy captain sees money and the survival of his precious company first. He has no vital need for thee, and that would always be one share less. Thou hast no more choice. Thou must hasten to the world heart and purify it. It is thine only chance. Do combat there, and if thou art not slain, at least one of thy companions, if not all of them, will betray thee to try to control or study the power I bring thee.
Vulcan? Vulcan? You were far away. Is it the demon? He was talking to you, wasn't he?
Yes, it happens sometimes.
You have to make a decision soon. Will you join us in the battle at Caralthas?
I don't know yet.
I understand. It's been a long day. I'll let you think it over for a while. Let me know when you've made a decision. There you are, at last. So, have you made your decision?
I will fight with you at Caralthas. Your army may be our only chance of victory.
Idiot! Thou hast sentenced thyself to death. And now?
Now we will go with the others to Caralthas, to swell our ranks, combine our forces, and face the Deadwalker army on equal terms.
Equal terms. Because thou hast slain a vassal far from his master, do not presume too much upon this body. Now draw close to the domain of one of these necromancers. Faced with his power, 1,000 soldiers more or less will make no difference. The power to slay this vermin lies within us. But it cannot be used from such a weak vessel, nor can it even be protected from those who covet it.
I am more and more powerful.
Yes, it's still not powerful enough. And this city is of no interest. The necromancer will lay waste to it with a wave of his hand. While he tarries, thou must make haste to reach his palace.
You said that I lacked the power. I will not throw myself into the wolf's jaws.
When thou returnest to the world heart, none will stand before us. Thou wouldst already possess the power to destroy this sorcerer and his like, if thou hadst but allowed the evolution of this useless body. Look upon thyself. Thou art duped.
Vulcan, have you seen something?
They use thee.
Are you coming, Vulcan? Your captain will be wondering where we are.
Huh? Yes, of course. Let's go.
There you are, sire. Right. Change of plan. Seeing how cold it is, it will come as no surprise to you to learn that the dead walkers have already been here. They're still close.
We must rejoin my father's army as swiftly as we may.
I think we already found them. Take a look around us.
There are survivors. Apparently they are camped not far from here. This soldier will lead us to them.
Prince Arundel, my lord, can it be you?
Soldier, what happened here? Is the king with you?
The dead walkers took us by surprise. The cold and the ice. We stood no chance. Almost all of the city has been invaded by the ice.
My father! Where is the king?
I know not, Your Highness. But a few of us were able to escape. Lord Commander Valen has built a camp close by the city.
Valen is here. Take us to his camp.
By your leave. Follow me, my lord.
My prince, we had lost all hope of seeing you return safe. We have no word from Bastion.
Bastion is lost, Valen. We came into this war too late. The General of the Alliance gave his life that I should escape with Relmar.
The deserter. What business did he have at Bastion?
The deserter was fighting, while you and your wondrous army waited, warm and safe, sat upon their asses. I hope the result is pleasing to you, Valen.
Silence, both of you. Relmar saved my life, Valen. For now, you will consider him pardoned.
By your will, my lord. And I see that you are escorted by the freeborn blades.
In truth, they are escorting the Red Scribes. But their presence is our good fortune. They have already once put the dead walkers to rout in the marshes. This man slew one of their generals before my very eyes. I will tell you more of this later. Now I must speak with my father. Where is he?
No one knows, my prince. The king was still in the royal palace when the river Estelduin fell upon the city.
The river? What happened?
'Twas like a great wave that froze all that it touched. We had seen the approach of the Deadwalkers' vanguard 4 days before, and we had raised Keraltos' defenses in preparation. Not even the sight of 10 juggernauts would have feared us. But we never dreamt that an Ice Lord would come to lead the assault himself. He walked calmly to within an arrow's flight of the gates, never once speaking. And then, the river rose up from its bed to form a gigantic cloud that hung up over Caroldas. We understood our peril too late. Near all of our soldiers stood atop the ramparts or in the streets when the ice cloud fell. All were frozen where they stood. That was his signal to launch their assault, but we were already vanquished. We fought to cover our retreat.
We must find the king!
I know, my prince, but every entry to the city is guarded, and we cannot risk being discovered.
It is clear we will not travel 200 paces if we do not first slay the sentinels close to the encampment. Only then will we be able to attempt to enter the city and save your father.
I'll go find your king for you.
Vulcan, did you hear me ask for volunteers? Our mission is over. The Red Scribes have screwed up from start to end. But they're in the hands of the Elven army now.
Captain, since we're here, we may as well make ourselves useful, right? And we have to get inside those walls if we want to know what happened to Wolf and the other blades we left here.
Ah, Vulcan. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
That is why I shall go with him. I grew up in this city. We shall help one another.
My prince, you know well it is my duty to object to you taking such a risk.
And you also know that your objections will change nothing. No man here knows the palace better than I. If my father is within, I will find him.
By your word, sire. But I fear most what other things you may find. I can but put my trust in your newfound champion to watch over your highness.
Don't forget, you'll have to deal with those sentinels before you try anything else, Vulcan. Meanwhile, the lads will set up camp near the south gate.
Understood, Captain.
Vulcan, I hope you've got good news.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath the city.
It's there, somewhere, and we have to find it. It's our only chance.
Do the Deadwalkers still hold the main road?
Still, and it's a problem. We won't be able to secure the perimeter for long with the undead nearby. And we won't be able to take Caroldas with that road in enemy hands.
I'll take care of those walking corpses before your men ever need to worry about them.
Thank you. That should give my men enough time to finish our mission.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. How did you survive the Battle of Caroldas?
I was lucky. When we got wind of the arrival of the Deadwalkers, our king sent me to reconnoiter. I was outside Caroldas when they attacked. Over the days that followed, I tried to gather together as many survivors as I could. Alas, that was all I could do.
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Very little. I can only trust what the last soldiers who got out have said. Apparently, most of the Deadwalker troops have left, including Lord Blackfrost. He assigned one of his concubines to control the region, but I have no idea what kind of creature we're dealing with. That said, if the Ice Lords keep to their usual tactics, they'll clean up the last pockets of resistance and start transferring their prisoners.
Do you know if there's any other resistance in Vertiel?
The rare information I get these days is not good. Several human kingdoms have capitulated unconditionally. The Chiller has apparently laid waste to one of the major elf settlements in the east. We have no news of the others. There are probably pockets of resistance, but they are tiny and have no hope against the Deadwalkers.
One more reason to hold here. We are Vertiel's last hope. What can you tell me about the prince?
I understand what you're asking. Is he up to it? The answer is yes. Since the start of this war, the prince has always been in the front line. He has demonstrated skill and courage, sometimes endangering his own life. He has, of course, taken some unnecessary risks, but the situation was different then. I think he'll be more cautious in the future.
I see. The young prince wanted to prove to his father that he was deserving of his affection.
He was merely seeking to protect his people.
I'll be going now.
Just in time, Vulcan. I'm afraid I need your help again.
What happened to you now?
To me, nothing. It's about my people. Have you ever heard of the Stone of Souls?
No. Worth a lot?
No. I mean, yes. It's priceless, but it's not for sale.
I'm not sure I follow you.
I'll explain. Every elf possesses a Stone of Souls, which contains the memories and emotions from all the greatest moments of his life. These stones are passed from generation to generation. It's a way of preserving the memories of our people and of honoring our ancestors. With all of those who died at Carolthas, there are thousands of stones abandoned in the city. We cannot just leave them there. You are no doubt the one who will be traveling to our city the most. If you could bring back as many of them as possible, I'd be eternally grateful. Actually, all of my people will be in your debt. At least the ones who still live.
All right, I'll take care of it. But don't expect to see me dancing around with a wheelbarrow full of rocks.
That would in fact be an amusing sight. But I do get your meaning. Whenever you can, check the bodies of elves you come across and collect the stones. Even if we manage to save only a very few, we will at least preserve some of the memories of my people.
I'll see what I can do. Let's change the subject. I have a few questions I need to ask you. I'm guessing this is not the way you'd always imagined coming back to your lands.
For years now, I've been waiting for the day when I can go back to my city. But deep inside, I've dreaded this moment. If I was ever coming back home, it could only mean one of two things. Either I'd been captured by my people, or I'd been forgiven because I was right. I would have preferred being captured. My city has fallen, and I do not recognize it.
This is no time to feel sorry for yourself. This war is not over yet, and your people need you now more than ever.
We have been swept away. There is no more army, no more supply base, and nothing left to fight for.
How long have you been harassing the Deadwalker army without getting caught by your people?
Nearly 7 years.
7 years of guerrilla warfare, and you're still here. You know exactly how Carolthas is laid out. You are going to be essential in the days to come.
Perhaps. We shall see.
Let's change the subject. I'll leave you here.
Mercenary, I owe you my life. I'll never forget that.
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Deadwalkers was waiting for me. Sometimes, the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
Maybe the cure we made finally worked.
Relmar told me about that. Maybe you saved my life twice, not just once. Who knows? In any case, I owe you a lot. I won't forget it.
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority, and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
His cause was just. He refused to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. If the elves had helped, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
We could talk about how just his cause is for days. How could we know what would have happened? Maybe we wouldn't be here today. He wanted to act fast. He was always impulsive. But that behavior led him to reject his king. And his best friend at the same time. He betrayed us, and his recent feats of arms can't change anything, even if it wounds my heart.
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Deadwalkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kingdoms.
We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best trained troops could hold them. We underestimated them, and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
Are you from Carolthas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Carolthas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
I'll be going now. Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
I have other things I gotta do first. I have to accompany the prince, remember? But I will try to go with you so you can find your books later. Promise.